The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And it was not a good day for the Boston Red Sox, but there really haven't been a lot of good days for the Boston Red Sox in this 1978 replay, as they are currently 70-71 and nowhere near first place in the American League East. But the New York Yankees are, and Ron Guidry won his 19th of the year. Let's tell you how it happened. Mickey Rivers in the third, a single. He's got a 12-game hitting streak. Willie Randolph, fielder's choice, 1-0 Yankees off of Dennis Eckersley. In the fourth, the Yankees get three more. A Greg Nettles double makes it 2-0. A Lou Piniella double scores Nettles to make it 3-0. Piniella on a 10-game hitting streak. They're hitting their stride right now when you need to. And then Bucky Dana, sac fly to make it 4-0. Guidry, 19 and 6, 9 strikeouts and a 7-hitter. Dennis Eckersley falls to 13 and 14. The Yankees and the Red Sox. It's a big one for the Yankees. For the Red Sox, they're still moving to Washington. Next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1978. Today, September 10th, Sunday, 1978. From Fenway Park in Boston, it is the Boston Red Sox in fifth place against the New York Yankees. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalAdice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Bobby Sproul and Eddie Figueroa on a warm day in the Back Bay. Hi there, I'm Ron Juckett. It's a short week for us on the replay today. This week, today, tomorrow night, and Thursday, as I've got company coming to visit on Friday. And then, starting next Monday, we're going to pretty much go daily until the season's over, because we're coming right down to it. Today is September 10th. There's only 20-some-odd days left of the regular season. Pretty good. In fact, I think there's 3 weeks left of the regular season. So we'll run right through it. Bobby Sproul is going on the hill today for Boston. We actually had his major league debut. He's not Dave Stegman, of course, but he's not too bad either. Going 4 to 3 innings and getting a no decision for the Red Sox. And, of course, the big story for Boston, besides their terrible record, is Jim Rice, who is looking for his 50th home run of the year. His next homer, and he's got, let's say 20-some-odd games to do that in, would be the first time since the late 30s and Jimmy Fox hit 50 homers for the Boston Red Sox. In a year that has been an amazing disappointment. He really has been the lone bright spot. For the Yankees, they got to keep winning, man. If they're going to make the playoffs and get past the Baltimore Orioles, these are the games they have to win. The Red Sox are, for whatever they are, they're only a 500 club. We know they should be better, but they're not. And the Yankees are cruising right along. They're 82 and 59. This is game number 142, and it's also game 142 for the Red Sox. So today at noon, tomorrow night at 7, and then Thursday at noon. So that's what you got this week, and it starts right at Fenway Park. And so Bobby Sproul is making his Fenway Park debut. I don't know why I even opened that. He is a fastball pitcher at 95 and a ground ball pitcher. And pretty much, good morning, DJ, John, and Lorenzo. Pretty much a 4A pitcher for the Red Sox. Throws the fastball at 95 and a ground ball pitcher. In his one start against Baltimore, he didn't get a decision. An ERA at 2.08, only went 4 to third innings. 5 hits, he walked 4 and struck out 4. I don't care, Lorenzo. How's that? Pick it with yourself. The lineup for the Yankees. Mickey Rivers in center field. He'll lead it off. Willie Randolph in second base. He'll go second. Thurman Munson will bat third and catch. Reggie in right field will be the DH, and he cleans up. This is ideally the perfect lineup for the Yankees. Lou Piniella in right field will bat fifth. Chris Chambliss at first base will bat sixth. Craig Nettles who's having an MVP type year at third, will bat seventh. Roy White in left will bat eighth, and Bucky Dent at short will bat ninth. And Figueroa, yeah, you get Bobby Sproul again. Figueroa on the mound, he should go 130 pitches. Defensively for the Red Sox, Carl Yastrzemski is a 9 and a 6 in left. Freddie Lynn is a 10 and a 6 in center, and Gary Hancock is a 3. No Evans, really, and right, and God knows what his arm is. Butch Hobson is 6 at third. Rick Burleson is a 9 at short. Jerry Remy is a 6 at second. He's hitting ninth, by the way, for Boston, and George Scott a 9 at first. Carlton Fisk an 8 and a 7 behind the plate, and Bobby Sproul. That one there is not a Stratomatic one. That's yeah, he's not a very good fielder. So there you have it, a beautiful day at Fenway Park. 76 degrees, winds blowing in from right at 5. And so the Chamber of Commerce called and said this is a beautiful fall day. I don't care, Lorenzo, about what you think. And I hope that everyone and all of you, my friends in California, are doing what they can with the smog. I mean, with the smoke. It's a scary time. Mickey Rivers at 309, 6 homers and 34 RBI. And so Bobby Sproul went from the frying pan into the fire, from the Orioles to the Yankees. Pitch to Rivers is a line drive left center field. Lynn is there, 1 out. And that's how this one starts. Here's Randolph down to his last 59 at bats. 286, 2 homers, and 38 RBI. Pitch to Randolph is a line drive left field. Yastrzemski, well, Burleson got a late jump. And there. So Randolph on first, 1 out. Hancock, by the way, is a 5 arm. Here's Munson at 283, 6 homers, and 70 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to Scott. Throws to Burleson for 1, back to Scott, and they're going to double him off. How about that? So no runs, a hit, and no errors after half an inning. Yankees, nothing. Here come the Sox. And Eddie Figueroa at 13 and 11 with an ERA of 3.61. He's won his last 5 decisions. So good for him. He's making his 30th start of the year. He'll have 5 more after this. Against Boston. Oh, that's right. I had him throw in relief because the Yankees bullpen was dead that particular day. 2 games, 1 start. So second start against the Red Sox. Especially with your heart, Lorenzo, you shouldn't be out there walking in the bad air. 10 innings, 14 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 4, and he's 0-1 with an ERA of 5.40. His last start came against the Tigers on the 6th. 7 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. 219 2/3 innings, 212 hits, 21 homers, 95 runs, 88 earned. He's walked 74 and struck out 74. I don't remember how Randolph got hurt, but he missed the entire postseason. Brian Doyle, Denny's brother, played second. 13 and 11 on the year. I think we said that. So fly ball at 85. And if the Yankees are going to be successful in the postseason, he needs to pitch better than that. They got to make it first. Lineup for Boston, Rick Burleson leads off at short. Freddie Lynn will bat second and play center field. Jim Rice, the DH, will hit third. Carl Yastrzemski in left will clean up. Carlton Fisk behind the plate will bat fifth. Gary Hancock will play right and bat sixth. Oof. George Scott at first will bat seventh. Butch Hobson will play third and bat eighth. And Jerry Remy is back in the lineup. He's at second and will bat ninth. And Bobby Sproul threw 8 pitches in the first. That would probably make sense, John, that he got taken out on the slide. flu and single shots. No wonder why you're in the mood. So Roy White has a 1 arm and left. Mickey Rivers an 8 and a 5 in center, and Pinella's a 5 and right. I forget his arm. Remember, in the 1-game playoff in '78, Pinella lost a ball in right field in the sun. Nettles a 10 at third, Dent a 6 at short, Randolph a 7 at second, Chambliss a 10 at first, Munson a 9 and an 8 behind the plate, Figueroa, good fielder, 8 range and a 9.82 fielding percentage. I thought whooping cough was good for a long time. So, here's Burleson, 246, 3 homers, and 50 RBI. And Burleson hits a ground ball to Randolph, who misplayed it. So, E4 on Randolph, and Burleson's on first for Lynn. Freddie at 290, 18 homers, and 79 RBI. True story, John. I got a flu shot once in college. Got talked into it. White, by the way, is a 7 range out there. And, of course, the flu shots, it's only the 3 strains of flu that they think are coming in a given year. Well, the year I got it, they just happened to guess wrong. And so I got the flu. Not from the shot, but just later on. Pitch to Lynn is a snap throw to first, and Burleson's back. So Lynn has a 1-0 count. Snap throw to first again. Burleson's not going anywhere. It's the Red Sox, for goodness sakes. They're not going to steal. Well, this was several months after I got it. I got it in the fall. Had my arm die for about 2 weeks because that is a painful shot. And didn't get it. That's why it's called, yeah. And I got the flu in February. Pitch to Lynn is a line drive left field. White is there, 1 out. So here's Jim Rice. He's hitting .323, 15 doubles, 13 triples, 49 homers, and 145 RBI. He probably won't win the Triple Crown. Ralph Garr, I believe, leads the American League in batting average. But Rice is going to win the home run and RBI titles by an amazing amount. Pitch to Rice is gone, 50. Jim Rice has just hit his 50th home run of the year. The Red Sox lead at 2-0, and yep, I think you got to go back to 1938 for Jimmy Fox. So Jim Rice, almost 34 full years before David Ortiz did it, has smashed his 50th home run of the year, and it's 2-0 Boston. So a standing ovation for Rice. So that'll bring up Yastrzemski at 281, 14 homers, and 64 RBI. And the Yankee fans in the audience just kind of shuddered. Man, that ball was smashed. That's his 6th against the Yankees. That was down the line and left. That was in the screen at 320. Pitch to Yaz is a ground ball base hit. So Yaz is on with a single. Second hit for the Red Sox in the inning. And that'll bring up Fisk at 292, 16 homers, and 75 RBI. Pitch to Fisk. Popped up left side. White in the corner will make the catch. And so 2 out. For Gary Hancock, hitting 125 with 5 RBI. If you're allergic to eggs, you can't get the flu shot. That's true. I never tried that one, though. They try every year to get me the flu shot. Pneumonia I can understand, but not the flu. Pitch to Hancock is a line drive left field. He's going for two to throw to Randolph, and that's a double. Brings up George Scott at 223, 6 homers and 33 RBI. Figueroa deal, struck him out. So Figueroa got Scott to swing and miss on an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, but Jim Rice puts the Red Sox on top 2-0, his 50th of the year, into the screen in left field. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Both the runs, I think, were earned. Anyway, so Reggie Jackson at 302, 24 homers, and 84 RBI. Look in the prediction box. He's either going to get a hit or strike out. He's got a 47%. His batting average in this at bat's 478, and his chances of striking out at 45.6%. I don't know how they're figuring that out. Anyway, so Reggie digs in. The Yankees are down 2-0 early. Struck him out. An 0-2 fastball at 97, and Reggie went for the downs. 1 out for Piniella at 296. 2 homers and 57 RBI. Struck him out. We got a good morning and we got a good afternoon as he looked at an 0-2 at 99 on the outside corner. So Sproul had his Wheaties this morning with a good start. Here's Chambliss at 270, 11 homers and 85 RBI. Popped up right side, Scott and somebody from Bill Ricca will make that catch, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Right, that's how all vaccines work, Lorenzo, is that it just gives you an extremely weakened version of whatever virus that you're shooting at, and your body will fight it off, hopefully. Scott and hustle are 2 words that you're not going to hear in the same sentence. Pitch to Chambliss. Struck him out. Good night. He gets the side on a 1-2 fastball. And I'm not sure how many highlights are going to be in Bobby Sproul's career, but getting Jackson, Piniella, and Chambliss in order is going to be one of them. An inning and a half in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2-0 Red Sox. So here's Hobson at 249, 16 homers, and 66 RBI. Pitch to Butch is a line drive left center field, and Hobson's in the second standing. Mild symptoms is the operative phrase. Yes. Here's Jerry Remy, 288, a homer, and 43 RBI. Pitch to Jerry, ball 4. Figueroa not doing too well. So through 9 batters, 26 pitches, an inning, 4 hits, the homer to Rice with a walk and a strikeout. Weekend dead. I mean, they're not full strength. Burleson reached and scored, so only one of the runs for the Red Sox is earned. Pitch to Burleson. Base hit, left center field. Hobson will score. Remy goes into third. Burleson's in with a double, and it's 3-0 Red Sox. And that'll bring up Lynn. Lynn is 0 for 1. Pitch to Freddie is a fly ball to right. Piniella goes back against the track. He'll make the catch. Remy will tag, and it's 4-0 Boston. And that'll bring up Rice, who now has 50 homers and 147 RBI. Figueroa's pitch count is at 30. If there is a bone to pick in the game, is that it really need to figure out when to bring in relievers. If it was me managing the Yankees, I would give him another earned run. I tend to do 5 earned runs, 10 hits, or really first time in trouble after facing 27 batters. So can Rice hit 51? One out. And Jim Ed hits this one deep to center, but Rivers will track that one down. Remember, Fenway plays big. And Burleson scampers to third. So 2 out for Yaz, who singled his first time up after the Rice homer. Pitch to Carl. Gets away from Munson, and Burleson will score on the wild pitch. So it's 5-0 Boston. Yeah, I just explained it. Usually what I would now, if it was me, I start looking at the batting averages. So Yaz hit 283 on the replay, and I'm looking up, and he's hitting this batting average, and this at bat would be 277. So it's clear that Figueroa is not going to be long for this game. But if I was managing the Yankees, I'd start to look. Pitch to Yaz, nobody on, fly ball right field. Pinella's there, and that will retire the side. So 3 runs for the Red Sox, all earned, 2 hits and no errors. We go to the third. Hey, it's 5-0 Boston. And what does this game mean for the Yankees? Well, they're a half game behind Baltimore, but they have the best run differential. But now, so does Boston. They've actually overtaken the Yankees at 76. And so the Orioles by half a game, and Milwaukee 5 out, and they've lost 5 straight. So really, Milwaukee is a benefit here. The Red Sox tragic number is 9. It's not going to matter for the Red Sox. In the West, Texas has a magic number of 20. They lead Kansas City by 4 and Minnesota by 6. California has shown signs of life, but 10.5 with 19 games to go. You're talking 64 Phillies territory here. In the East, Philadelphia has righted the ship a little bit. Their magic number is 20. St. Louis, well, the football Cardinals are already playing golf too, so Chicago will be next. In the West, the Dodgers really have it wrapped up. Their magic number is 16. The Reds have handed them that division. They've lost 5 straight. Yep, plus 71, but with only 70 wins. And I really do think one of the things that we'll talk about once the season's over, because the numbers are pretty well right, I still think Pittsburgh is the team to beat in the National League, is that the game really just does not recognize when to pull starters, or at least in this season. I think 78 needs to be reworked. I can understand that since they beat the Dodgers 12 times, Lorenzo. It's in Philly's hands. Here's Nettles. He's at 318, 27 homers and 96 RBI. And again, would be a candidate along with Larry Heisel for the MVP. Pitch to Nettles is a slow roller to Remy. Over to Scott for the out. Here's Roy White at 261, 5 homers and 34 RBI. I'd imagine so. The only thing that the weakness for me from the Dodgers isn't their offense. It's that they really don't have any good starters behind Bert Hooton. I suppose I could use Bob Welch when the time comes, but Sutton and John all have ERAs over 4. Sutton has had a pedestrian year in the replay. Pitch to White, ball 4. So White is on with a 1-out walk, and here's Bucky at 206, 4 homers and 27 RBI. I probably would use Welch in the playoffs. They used him Tommy used him as a reliever. But I would probably use him in whatever. The thing is, although the Dodgers clinch with a week to go in real life, so they can set up for how they're going to do that. So we'll figure it out. But if I can, I would use Hooton in Game 1 and Welch in Game 2. Tommy also used Dave Gold's. Well, that's a couple years later. We all want more Mario Mendoza. Pitch to Dent is ball 4, so Sproul starting to lose the script a little bit, and that's why a 5-run lead with a scrub out of Pawtucket isn't safe. So opening up Rivers, Mickey is on a 10-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 1. Sproul, 9 batters deep, 2 1/3 innings, a hit. He's walked 2 and struck out 3 on 36 pitches. No, Dave Goltz did not take to being a Dodger. Some guys just don't do well in high limelight situations, and the Dodgers certainly in 1980 were a high limelight team, kind of like today. Pitch to Rivers, ground ball to Remy, to Burleson for 1. They're not going to get Mickey, and it's runners on the corners and 2 out for Randolph. So 4-6 on the Oh, why is that? Seriously? Don Stanhouse was a middle reliever that poked around as a closer. So White and Rivers are on 2 out for Randolph, who singled his first time up. Lasorda was instrumental in the development of Wes Parker's hitting. I'm not flagging you. That's the computer. But the S and the hitting together made it sound like caca. Story of how it is amazing. Tommy is misunderstood, and even a Dodger fan like Lorenzo was not aware of the impact behind the scenes. So runners on the corners, 2 out, 5-0 Boston. Pitch to Randolph, runners go! And they're loaded as he walked them for Munson, who grounded into a double play. So White on third, Rivers on second, and Randolph on first, with Munson at the plate. He grounded into a double play. 2 out, top the third. Pitch from Sproul, line drive, base hit, left field. Yastrzemski will pick it up. White and Rivers will score, and it's 5-2 Boston. And now here's Reggie. He struck out his first time up. And the crowd at Fenway starts to get a bit restless. And now, the first base umpire, Dave Gardner, threw up. And so we have to attend to him, and we get a 13-minute delay. I wonder what the hidden dice roll is for that. Because it's a sunny day, it's not a rain delay, but they gave Gardner some Pepto-Bismol, and Dave says I'm ready to go and ask me what the Tiger score is. Yes, Tommy was very good with people. Pitch to Jackson. Struck him out, so Sproul got him, and a look at strike 3. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. But the Yankees get on the board. It's Boston 5, New York 2. Sproul owns Reggie. So Sproul goes back to the dugout, opens up a Reggie bar, and eats it. It'll be Fisk, Hancock, and Scott to face Figueroa here in the third. So Pudge is 0 for 1. Pitch. There's a long drive, center field. That is gone. So Carlton Fisk hits one to the deep part of the ballpark, and it's 6-2 Boston. I think that is a Reggie bar that took out the... Well, and I think, yeah, Dave got into the good and plenty. So 6-2 Boston here in the third. That'll bring up Hancock, who was 1 for 2. He doubled. Pitch to Gary is right back to Figueroa, over to Chambliss for the out. So 1 away for George, the speedster boomer Scott, who struck out his first time up. Pitch to George, ball 4. So Scott draws the walk. And now I'll bring up Hobson. I'm tempted to intervene for Figueroa, but let's take a look at the Yankees pen. I suppose we could go with Kenny Clay if we need to. That's 5 earned runs for Figueroa. Hobson, as we said, doubled and scored his first time up. Pitch to from Eddie is a ground ball to Dent. Flips it to Randolph for 1, over to Chambliss, and that will retire at the side. But the Red Sox get a run on the solo bomb by Fisk after 3. 6-2 Boston. And yet Randolph got taken out by Scott. So Sproul, probably in his last inning again, he's going to have winning results in both of his starts, but he's not going to be able to go 5. Here's Piniella. He struck out his first time up. Into center. Lynn, 1 out. Ballpark playing big for the lefties and small for the righties. Lefties -2 in batting average and -21 in the home runs. But the righties, +15 in the batting average and +40 for the home runs. Here's Chambliss. He struck out his first time up. Pitch from Sproul. Got him! That's 5 for Bobby. A full count fastball at 98. So here's Nettles. He's 0 for 1. Yeah, I'm going to try to milk him through, but you look at Nettles' batting average, .476 in this at-bat. Pitch to Craig is a line drive to Remy, and there you go. So that'll do it for Figueroa. The computer's making the move now. Paul Lindblad coming in. It's the Red Sox 6, the Yankees 2. So Lindblad making his 6th appearance of the year, or with the Yankees. He pitched with Texas. He's 0-1 in New York with a 7.16 ERA. Against the Red Sox, it's his 4th appearance. 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. And has an ERA of 7.94. So his last appearance against the Tigers was a start. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out none. If I remember correctly, that was game 2 of a doubleheader. 16 1/3 innings for Mr. Lindblad, 21 hits, 13 runs, 4 homers, all earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 5, and the fastball is at 85, and he's a fly ball plus pitcher, which will do him no favors here at Fenway Park. It'll be Remy, Burleson, and Lynn here in the bottom of the 4th, and Remy walked and scored his first time up. Sproul might have plus stuff. It'll be tough, though, to get. He's already at 79 pitches, and the pitch count lowered to 75. Yeah, talking about run differently. Ask the umpire. Yeah. Pitch to Remy is a ground ball to short. Dent deep in the hole. Over to Chambliss, 1 out. So we'll see. Here's Burleson. 1 for 2 with a double. An RBI, and has scored twice. Pitch, ball 4. So Burleson draws the walk. That brings up Freddie Lynn. 0 for 1 with an RBI. Not good batting average against lefties. As long as he doesn't hit into a double play, he should be fine. Here's the pitch. Lynn, he won't hit into a double play. Left center field. Rivers is there. And that will be the 2nd out. Now here's Jim Ed. He's 1 for 2. They stand for Rice. Lindblad, odds are not in his favor here. Deep breath. Rice up the middle. Right bat to Lindblad for the out. Ho, ho, ho. So the Red Sox, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave a runner on with a walk after 4. 6-2 Boston. So White, Dent, and Rivers to face Sproul, who's probably down to his last base runner. Roy walked and scored in the 3rd. Bobby deals. Ground ball to Burleson, over to Scott, one away. So we've reached the middle school kid with the egg portion of Bobby Sproul's day. You'll hold it gently and lovingly until you give up the base hit. Dent walked his first time up. 1 of 3 given up by Bobby. In the right center, Lynn will have that one bounce off the wall. And that'll bring up Rivers. And that'll do it for Sproul. Look at that batting average, 5.55. No. So Rivers 0 for 2 with a run scored. Sproul's day is done. 86 pitches again, 4 1/3 innings. He can't win it, and he won't be able to lose it. He walked 3 and struck out 5. And so Bob Stanley will come in. Stanley's only 21st appearance. This is his game. He is 2-1 with 6 saves and an ERA of 3.16. He has not faced the Yankees this year. Nickname is Bigfoot. I don't want to know why. He last pitched 5 days ago against the Orioles. He went a clean inning. I believe that was the day that we had rain and he couldn't pitch. 37 innings, 45 hits, 15 runs, 13 earned. He's only walked 8 and struck out 12. He's a ground ball plus pitcher, and the fastball tops out at 85. So Den on second, 1 out for Rivers, who's on a 12-game hitting streak. Yeah, you got to use him. He threw so many innings, and most of them were out of the pen. But they're using him as a closer. And there was no such thing as a closer in 78. They were firemen. Pitch to Rivers, ground ball to Hobson, over to first, across the way, and Rivers is retired. 2 out for Randolph, who singled and walked. They got Drago, too. So the Red Sox have relievers and numbers. Sproul, it would be it's the very definition of an opener, absolutely. Pitch to Randolph. There goes Dent. That's going to be a base hit. Hit and run was on. Dent will score at 6-3. And the Yankees have crawled another one back. Here's Munson. He had a 2-run single in the third. We did the couple test games. One has been released. And when the football game is released on Steam, then we will start to produce, and that will be on Super Bowl Tournaments channel on YouTube and or Twitch. But all those games will be taped. They might air as a premiere, but they'll all be taped. Here's Munson. Throw to first. Randolph is back. Pitch to Munson is a ground ball to Scott. Takes it to the bag himself, and we're halfway home. Time for the commercial. The Yankees get one more on 2 hits and no errors. Boston 6, the Yankees 3. Yeah, I think you'd like it. All right, here's how we got here. Jim Rice with his 50th of the year. A 2-run blast in the first made it 2-0 Boston. They made it 5-0 in the second. Rick Burleson doubled home Butch Hobson. Fred Lim with a sac fly. And then a wild pitch by Figueroa scored Burleson. The Yankees have chipped back. Thurman Munson, a 2-run single to make it 5-2. Then the first base umpire had some good and plenty go down the wrong way, and so a 13-minute delay there. Boston got one back in the bottom of the inning. Carlton Fisk with the 17th of the year to make it 6-2, and Willie Randolph Single don't Bucky Dent to make it 6-3. Starters are all done. Figueroa only went 3 innings. 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. The 2 homers, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And Sproul, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5. The delay probably cost him his night or afternoon. So it's Figueroa's and Bob Stanley's game right now as we go to the bottom of the 6th. We did one game that the game glitched. And so the game that you saw was our second full game together. And so we actually it's one of the rare things that, I'm playing the game here. And most of my streams I'm playing the game. We actually have a producer. The computer is playing the game, and the producer gives us cues and all that. So it's weird to call something essentially off a monitor and not really have any impact on how the game is played. So once we start taping those, we'll let you know how and the wins. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. The thing is, you can't have too many. I mean, Dave and Al and I would have a very good time doing it. But then we're coming close on 2 hours for those games now. So, but it was great fun. Great fun. 50s, 60s, 70s will all be a decade championship. And the 80s, I think, from what we were talking about, there'll be an AFC championship, an NFC championship, and then a Super Bowl from the decade. And then 90s, aughts, and today. So 9 games, I believe, is what we've said that we would do. Yaz is 1 for 2 with a single. And Lindblad got him. He swung on and missed a 2-2 at 75. Took something off it, 1 out. So here's Fisk. He homered to deep center field his last time up. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. They've left 3 on. 3 runs, 4 hits, an error for the Yankees, and they've left 3 on. Pitch to Fisk is a slow roller to Nettles. Across the way, Fisk beat it out. So it was a little too slow. I'll bring up Hancock. It's going to get pinch hit for. And then I'll bring up Dwight Evans at 217, 19 homers, and 68 RBI. Yeah, a little nonchalant is right. Not like the Red Sox are blessed with speed. Pitch to Evans is a line drive to Nettles. I guess he'll make up for that one now, won't he? 2 out. Here's Scott, the boomer, 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. Throw to first. Fisk is back. The Red Sox aren't stealing. Pitch to Scott. Line drive to Randolph, and that will retire the side. Boomers were more of a buster. The second time with the Red Sox, he wasn't all that great. After 5, no runs, a hit, and no errors. It's the Red Sox 6, the Yankees 3. Yep, Red Sox and stolen bases go together like oil and water, sans Jacoby Ellsbury. When Dustin Pedroia was healthy, he could steal too. Evans a 10 and an 8 in right. Here's Reggie. Bobby Sproul struck him out twice. Stanley will get a slow roller. Remy on the grass. Over to Scott for the out. I think my views are down, but I think because there's actually sports on TV now and all that, they're there. I mean, that's what YouTube is for. You know, our daily Twitch numbers are all good. So, here's Piniella. Lou is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch to Lou is a ground ball base hit. And so Burleson got a late jump. 1 out for Chambliss, who has struck out twice. So the 5th hit for the Yankees. And there's a ground ball to Remy. They're going to only go to first, and so Scott's on the bag. Piniella goes to second. 2 out for Nettles, who's 0 for 2. Last follower, by the way, was Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. Silent Shadows and Sportsman Z in the last week. Have 135 of you now. Pitch to Nettles. Into right center field. Evans will not get that one, and it's 6-5. Well, if you're a Yankee fan, Stanley helps you do things right. Nettles, as we said, has just had a magnificent year. That's his 28th. And his third against the Red Sox. Here's White. Has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Roy. Struck him out. So a 2-2 curve, a late called strike 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. That's all one word, DJ John, but yes. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-5 Boston. So Hobson, Remy, and Burleson, they face Lindblad here, and Paul has pitched well. He's gone 2 innings, walked the batter, allowed a hit, and struck out 1. And Hobson sends this one into right center field. Rivers runs a long way to make the catch. Oh, baby, he must have ran 30 yards. So 1 out. Remy not going to bunt. He has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Got him. So Lindblad is hanging tough. A 1-2 looking, and there's 2 out. Hopefully Dave will get back into streaming some hockey. That was fun. Here's Burleson. 1 for 2. He has scored twice, walked, and drove in his 51st. And what was a 5-0 lead for Boston is now 6-5. You mean the Red Sox are going to... Red Sox. Pitch to the Rooster. Struck him out. He swung on and missed a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th. 6-5 Boston. So here's Dent, Rivers, and Randolph to face Stanley here in the 7th. And Gary Thomason is going to pinch hit. Okay. No worries. And hopefully work has been good for you and life has treated you well and you're not inhaling all that smoke. I have a friend that lives out in Monterey. He's pretty spooked right now. Thomason at 248. 5 homers and 17 RBI. Pitch to Gary is a line drive. The computer got it right. Yastrzemski will pick it up, and that's a tying run. So Bob Stanley, who went 15-2 in real life. Here's Rivers. He's 0 for 3, and he scored a run. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Pitch to Rivers. Ground ball to Burleson. Might be to Remy for 1. Over to Scott. And I think they should have it. And Stanley does his job. 2 out. So he's there to induce the double play. And that's exactly what he did. Here's Willie Randolph. He's 2 for 2. He singled twice, walked, and drove in his 39th of the year. And that's a big one for Stanley right there. Pitch to Randolph is a base hit right center field. And so that double play erased the tying run. If you ever wonder why we go with Action PC Baseball, this is such a true-to-life appearance for Bob Stanley, it's not even funny. Here's Munson. Thurman had that 2-run single in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. Throw to first. Randolph is back. Now he goes to Munson. Ground ball to Hobson. Long throw to first. And Scott got him. He's cupped his foot on the bag. Here comes the Goose. 6-5 Boston. John Kiley on the organ, munching on a Fenway Frank by Colonial, makers of fine meat products all through New England. 46th appearance for Mr. Gossage. He is 7-6 with 25 saves and an ERA at 2.16. Against Boston, this is his 4th appearance. This will be a long one, 2 1/3 innings. He'll top that today, 2 unless the Yankees come back. A hit, a run, it was earned. He walked 3. And surprisingly enough, Gossage hasn't struck out a Red Sox batter yet. So his last appearance was 6 days ago. Yeah, this is where the game really needs to look at some of these seasons. Against the Tigers, 2 innings and a strikeout. 91 2/3 innings, at least they've used him. 61 hits, 7 homers, 24 runs, 22 earned. 30 walks, 84 strikeouts. You'll face Lynn, Rice, and Yaz here in the 7th. You can find Fenway Franks at your local neighborhood Grand Union, Shaw's, and Finest supermarkets. Finast. For those of you who are older, that would be First National. And your local A&P, which is not an occasion to empty your bladder. Here's Lynn. He's 0 for 2. He has a sac fly and drove in his 80th of the year. Pitch from Freddie is a line drive foul. There are older people that live in New England who would remember them as a First National. So the count is full. And Lynn hits this one in the left. White will track it down for the out. Mickey Stanley, or Fred Stanley rather, is at short. He's a 5 shortstop, and that's the only defensive change for the Yankees. 1 out for Rice, who was 1 for 3. His 50th of the year in the first made it 2-0 Boston. And when we say he has things wrapped up, we're not kidding. So his home run lead is 10. His RBI lead is now even bigger. And batting average, he's going to have to pass Carew and Madlock, or Gar. He might get past Gar. Carew is just going to hit. Remember, the Twins are still in a race too. Nettles, by the way, 11th at 318 and 9th overall in Major League Baseball at 27 and 6th in RBI with 96 coming into the day. It's on YouTube. It's all one word. Eight points is not out of it, but you got to figure that Carew is not going to cool off. No, it's not on my channel. So you just search for Super Bowl tournaments. So here's Rice. Pitch to Jim. Struck him out. So Gossage, that's his first strikeout against... I'm busy, Lorenzo. Here's Yaz. That's the first strikeout that Gossage has thrown against the Red Sox all year. It'll be Jackson, Piniella, and Chambliss. For the Yankees in the 8th. It gets away from Munson, and the throw down to Chambliss is in time, and Yastrzemski will strike out. So the Yankees got what they needed from Gossage in the 7th, 2 strikeouts. And Stanley versus Gossage really isn't a fair fight for Boston. We go to the 8th, 6-5 Red Sox. So here's Reggie. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Reggie, ground ball to Scott, takes to the bag himself for the out. So here's Piniella, 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out, and scored. Pitch. And there's a ground ball to Hobson. Has to hurry. It's the throw low. They got him. So Hobson had a dive. He dove to his right. He threw it to first. 2 out. And so Stanley doing his best impression of a Weeble Wobble right now. The Yankees have him almost knocked down. 3 1/3 innings and 2 earned runs. But they haven't knocked him out. So here's Chambliss. The good news is, even if Chambliss is retired, you got Nettles to lead off the 9th. That's a huge play from Hobson. There's a ground ball to Burleson. Over to Scott. Chambliss beat it out. So, would you believe that? The Hobson's making the big plays and Burleson's the one botching them. And so now, the go-ahead run is on at the plate for Nettles. He is 1 for 3 and he homered his last time up. Took Stanley deep. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball to Scott. Gives it to Stanley, and that will retire the side. A sigh of relief. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 7.5, 6-5, Boston. So here's Fisk. He's 2 for 3. The Red Sox could use another run. But getting it off of Gossage. Can someone get the link for Lorenzo, please? Evans, who's 0 for 1, and Scott, who's been the big buster, not the big boomer. So the Yankees have getting what they paid for with Gossage. Pitch to Fisk is a fly ball to left. White will come in. He rides the Schwinn, 1 out. And now bring up Evans. Dwight's 0 for 1. Pitch to Dewey. Struck him out, so 2 out. Gossage, 97 on a full count. He's faced 5 batters and struck out 3. That's why the Yankees are paying him the big bucks. Here's Scott. Do we pinch hit? Who have we got? Who can hit a righty? So they're going to throw out Bob Montgomery out there just to try to make contact. It's not going to work. 154 and an RBI for Bob, who will tell you about his great career when he sat there in the 80s with Ned Martin on TV 38. He does make contact. White comes in, Nettles goes out, and that will do. After 8, no runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th, 6-5 Boston. So Stanley. So going in. Yaz moves to first. And Bob Bailey comes in the left. He's a 2 and a 1. Not the greatest in the world. So Stanley trying to lock down a 5-inning win almost. White, who's 1 for 2. Mickey Stanley, who is not batted yet. Or Fred Stanley. And then Mickey Rivers, who's trying to keep his hitting streak alive at 12. Pitch to White. Ground ball right back to Stanley. 1 out. It's Fred Stanley, yep. So Fred at 228, 2 homers and 13 RBI. Jim Spencer will pinch hit. So the right move by Bob Lemon. Spencer at 234, 8 homers and 24 RBI. Pitch to Spencer is a fly ball to right. Evans will go back, and we're down to the last out. So Stanley takes a deep gulp And now I'll bring up Mickey Rivers, who is 0 for 4. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored and grounded into a double play. He is on a 12-game hitting streak, 5 runs, 9 hits, and an error, and the Yankees have left on 5. The Red Sox, 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors, and they've left on 4. And so Stanley 1 out away from getting this done. Pitch to Rivers, popped up. Yes, foul territory, out of play. And some poor kid from Providence has taken a beating there, reaching over to steal it from Yaz, who just turned 81, by the way, the other day. So the count to Rivers is 0-2. Stanley, line drive, base hit. So the hitting streak goes to 13. And the tying run is on base with 2 out for Randolph. And it wouldn't be Bob Stanley if he wasn't doing Bob Stanley things. Randolph is 3 for 3. He has singled all 3 times and walked and drove in a run. If we get to the bottom of the 9th, I'll have pulled out the rest of my hair, and it'll be Butch Hobson, Jerry Remy, and Rick Burleson. Stanley and Fisk trying to get on the same page. And Randolph up the middle, and the beat goes on. Rivers goes to third. And Lorenzo was right. You're going to need all 6 of those runs. 2 out for Munson, who was 1 for 4. He is driven in 2. That came on a single in the third, and he's grounded into a double play. Pitch to Thurman. Ground ball to Burleson across the way, and the Red Sox hang on. Oh, baby. Yastrzemski just secures the ball in his glove, and the Red Sox have beaten the Yankees 6-5. There is no Boston Massacre this time around. They're already out of it. And so 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for Boston. 5 runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Yankees. Figueroa just was Christmas tree. 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 2 homers. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Not minus stuff, I'm surprised. Lindblad and Gossage, 5 innings combined of 1-hit baseball. And they struck out 6 and walked 1. Bobby Sproul, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5. He had plus stuff. It was Jamie that said that, right? Wasn't it you, Jamie, that thought he had the plus stuff? And Bob Stanley, 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, all earned. He gave up the homer to Nettles in the 6th. Those were the only 2 runs, and he struck out a batter. Yeah, the way he'd struck out batters for sure. And so, again, having the fluke of the first base umpire getting ill took a chance away from Sproul to get a win. With those 13 pitches, I think he would have done the deed. So right now, the Oriole lead is 1. So the rest of this Sunday, the 10th of September, 1978. Texas and Oakland are the only doubleheader that I see. I'm telling you, that's a Bob Stanley game. He scatters 8 to get the job done. All right. Philadelphia shuts out St. Louis 6-0. Jim Lonborg gets the win. He goes to 8-11. Silvio Martinez falls to 4-9. Bake McBride 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Cincinnati, Tom Seaver throws a 4-hitter. They beat San Francisco 1-0. Seaver goes to 16-5. The Reds wish that every day was a Tom Seaver start. Ed Halicki goes to 10-8. Dan Driessen 2 for 3 with the 17th homer and a stolen base. Mets help out the Phillies in a great big way. They beat Pittsburgh 7-1. Lorenzo is a Mets fan. Jerry Koosman goes to 9-13. Jerry Royce I'll be doing a side video later on today. Jerry Royce 5-5. Kenny Henderson 2 for 3 with 3 RBI and a double. Los Angeles 7, Atlanta 1. Don Sutton, heard me complaining about him being mediocre, gets the win. He goes to 15-13. Jim Bouton, or Booten, goes to 0-1. It wasn't ball 4 for him. And Reggie Smith 2 for 3 with his 22nd home run of the year. Tigers beat the Indians 5-4. Milt Wilcox goes to 12-9. Paul Russell goes to 5-2. Bernie Carbo hits his 5th of the year since the trade with Boston and drives in 2. Expos 3-2. Woody Fryman 9-3. Rick Russell 15-12. Andre Dawson is 25th of the year, 2 for 4 and 2 RBI. Chicago 9, Seattle 1. Cusick, never heard of him. Anyway, he goes to 2-1. Glenn Abbott 7-12. And somebody by the name of Johnson walked 4 times. How about that? Minnesota 7, Milwaukee 4. Dave Goltz, we were talking about him earlier today, goes to 12-10. Rod Carew, 2 for 3, is 9th of the year. And Jerry Travers falls to 4-15. Milwaukee is now 5.5 out in the American League East. It is now really a race between the Yankees and the Orioles. Doubleheader, Kansas City is in real trouble. Let's tell you why first. This is not a doubleheader. California beat them, Kansas City 6-1. Nolan Ryan only walked 2. He struck out 10. He allows 4 hits over 9 innings. Terry Humphrey, 3 for 4 with his first home run of the year. So Kansas City loses 1 in the loss column that way. And then Texas sweeps Oakland in the doubleheader. Doyle Alexander goes to 11-10. They beat the A's 10-7. Mike Norris goes to 0-2. Bobby Bonds with 2 homers and 5 RBI in Game 1. In Game 2, Steve Komer shuts out Oakland 4-0. Pete Broberg goes to 4-9. Toby Harrah 3 for 4. His 11th of the year with 2 RBI. San Diego keeps pace with the Dodgers. They beat Houston 4-1. Bonds has been red hot the last few weeks. Eric Rasmussen 9-8. J.R. Richard takes a loss 10-11. And Jerry Turner overdrive 2 for 4. 9 homers on the year and drives in 3. All right, you go to F7. Standings. You know what? We may not get much for races here. Philadelphia by 3 over Pittsburgh. The Dodgers by 5.5 over the Reds. Baltimore by a game over the Yankees. And 5.5 over Milwaukee. Texas now has a 5.5 game lead over Kansas City. Who would have thought that Texas would be the team that would be the one that would not only be the team that didn't do it in real life, but might do it in red-hot fashion. Night game for you tomorrow, and it's a biggie from the Vent in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Other games of note, Houston, Cincy, Baltimore, Boston, Oakland, KC, California, Texas, Dodgers, Giants. That's about it. Yeah, I think the Brewers peaked too early. And so tomorrow night is Philly-Pittsburgh. It's a short week. Thursday at lunch, hey, it's Philly and Pittsburgh, because that is pretty much the National League East Championship right there. So Phillies and Pirates tomorrow night and Thursday afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.